So what are the risk factors for developing Achilles tendinopathy? Okay. So basically, if I have something present, right, let's say a flat foot, right, or maybe I'm overweight, will this increase my likelihood of getting Achilles tendinopathy? Okay. Well, here's what the authors found. So the risk factors for developing Achilles tendinopathy were quinolone antibiotics. So it's a type of antibiotic. It's a class of antibiotics that can increase your risk of having tendon problems, especially the Achilles tendon, right? That definitely falls in that. Weak plantar flexion strength. So weak calf muscles basically increase your risk. Training during cold weather. So yes, it does seem like if you train in cold weather, it's going to increase your risk of Achilles tendinopathy. And lastly, abnormal gait patterns, which was decreased forward progression of propulsion and lateral foot rollover. And maybe we'll talk about these in later lectures, but this is not the topic for today. Okay. What was not a risk factor for developing Achilles tendinopathy, or which of these risk factors kind of had mixed research to show it was a problem, right? So one is foot shape. Okay. So some folks have a stiffer foot. Some people have a flexible foot. Some people have more or less pronation or supination, maybe at rest, right? Or with running or walking. So if you start looking at this research as a whole, some studies will say that these foot positions are related to pain problems, right? Increase your risk for developing Achilles tendinopathy, and some not. Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that foot posture is not important, right? And some folks it probably is, and other people it's not, but it's at least not a strong risk factor for developing Achilles tendinopathy. And some research will show it is, and some research shows it's not. Okay. So what are the modifiable risk factors we can actually do something about to reduce our chance of getting Achilles tendinopathy, right? So for one, we can probably work on our plantar flexion strength or just work on our calf strength. Okay. So here's the problem. We don't have a lot of great research to show that if you strengthen your calf, you're less likely to develop Achilles tendinopathy. We do have research to show that if you have a weak calf, it's going to lead to an increased risk of developing Achilles tendinopathy, right? And one study we do have right now was looking at, I believe it was NFL athletes. They did eccentric strengthening halfway through a season and actually found that didn't reduce your risk of getting Achilles tendinopathy. Okay. So maybe if we started this strengthening program in the months leading up to the season, maybe we'd have reduced injuries throughout the course of the season. But we don't necessarily have the research to show this. So again, the authors made recommendations based on the information we have, although this hasn't been fully studied yet. Okay. So we're looking to have a strengthening program to the plantar flexors or calf muscles at some point prior to the season and maybe throughout the course of the season, right? The other piece that we probably want to have a gradual increase in load on the Achilles and progress slowly over the course of time. And we'll talk about the acute to chronic workload ratio a little bit later, but suffice to say, it's probably smart to slowly ramp up the amount of stress you throw at your Achilles, not spike your training volume at any given period of time. So here's what I want you to do next, guys. If you enjoyed this video so far, I have an entire course. It's free. It's called the Fitness Pain-Free Mini Course. And we go over 3 lessons going to help you take a lot of this information that we went over so far and put it into practice. The first lecture is called Why We Need a Better System. So first and foremost, the way we treat fitness individuals, all right, athletic people in the gym from a physical therapy perspective is pretty much broke, okay? So we need a better system to serve the folks that are in the gym that get hurt, they want to get back to training, all right? Lecture number 2 is called 7 Reasons Why People Get Hurt in the Gym. And essentially, we have to know the reasons why people get hurt in the gym so we can keep them safe in the future, right? And when they get hurt, we have to know why and how to get them back to training in the gym. Okay, so a thorough understanding of this is very, very important. I actually have a really cool infographic that goes along with this lecture that you get for free as well. And lastly, we go over a case study of how to get someone out of pain and back to training. So these principles are all phenomenal, but we don't actually put it together and you don't understand how to create a program to get people back in the gym and keep them safe for the long term, then we lose, right? So I'll put a link in the show notes for this. It's a Fitness Pain-Free Mini Course. Definitely check this out.